Hi guys, so sorry about that. I just switched over to the old program. I kind of thought there was going to be issues with it. I wasn't 100% sure. It doesn't really let you do a kind of a prototype to see if you are live or if you're not live. So I do apologize. I am back into the format that I do know and I do get. So I think there's a lot of learning with the other program. I spent about 3 hours today YouTubing things, trying to figure it out, and yeah, I guess it still didn't work. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do the random picker today. I still will do a prize like I was planning on, but it won't be the auto-generated. So I apologize. I will work harder at the other program and see what happens. So I am going to flip you over and we have lots to show you guys today before we start crafting. Okay, good, Valerie. I'm glad you can hear. Hello, Donna. I'm glad you can make it. Teresa, Jessica. Hello, Monique, Darlene. Okay, so this last weekend was our retreat, and I want to bring in all of the goodies to show you that everybody got. I think I'm missing a couple because I'm still in the process of putting everything away. So this is a water bottle. This was sitting at your table when you arrived with your nameplate that is right here. So it was kind of an ocean kind of themed. So you have your, it says success is what you make it. It's on the cup and your name tag. So that was sitting waiting for you. And throughout their entire retreat, we gave lots of little pillow gifts. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple, but one of these days I will get my craft room put back together. So this was a wooden sign that you can put on your desk, and it says relax. You also got a face mask so you could relax in your hotel room and do a little facial. And then this little guy, my box got a little bent. It says, you blow me away. And then you open up the box, and on the inside has a little fan, and we put batteries in it so you could have your little fan blowing on you. And I actually think I should probably have this right now because it's a little toasty in my office. So there are, there's another one that I forgot. And then you have a little hand sanitizer box. So everybody got one of these in this cute little box. On Sunday, I did forget these two. They were underneath all the cards. So this little guy had some of our black ribbon wrapped around it. And when you opened it up, it had some chapstick in it. So it says, be as bold as your lipstick. This one is you are perfectly unique, and you flipped it up and you have little notepads. That one was super fun. And then, let's see, on Sunday, you guys got this. I did them all in each of the in colors. It says, I hope you felt special and spoiled this retreat weekend. Everything has been handcrafted just for you. Please make sure to mark your calendars for the fall retreat. So it has the fall retreat date, so everybody got that. And they got the new catalog. So if you were not at the retreat and you need a catalog, let me know. I will definitely get those in the mail to you. And there's actually one more before I show you the cards. So during a retreat, we always do little door prizes where you fill out a blue ticket with your name on it. And we pick your names throughout the weekend, and you get to pick something out of the bucket. Well, instead, we decided to do this little box. I don't want to tip it over because everything will fall out, but it's a cute little carrying box. It has 3 little spots, and you got all of your ribbon wrapped around the handle, and you got lots of designer series paper. You got lots of little rhinestones. You got a sheet of dimensionals. You got a full pack of the loose flowers, and you got 10 cards and envelopes to make these. So that was super fun. One of my cards is missing. It's probably tucked away somewhere in a safe spot. But these are the 4 that we made during the retreat. Let me scooch it back a little bit. There we go. So you can see all the fun cards that we did. There was one of the puffins missing. But you made 5 cards, and you made 2 of each. And you also had enough to decorate your envelope. So that was another one of the retreat gifts. And then here are, hopefully I grabbed them all. Here are the make and takes. I'll just flip through them for you. But it was so much fun. I actually went on Monday and stayed all week. So it was a nice little mini vacation for me and probably my husband. Just kidding. I was talking to my daughter on the way home, and she was like, I think he missed you. He text messaged us the entire week more than he has his entire life. So I take that as he did miss me a little bit. Okay, so that's the retreat fun goodies. Let me bring in the card that we're going to be doing. So I used on the sample card the Highland Heather. I used the Highland Heather ribbon. Let me scoot you in a little bit so you can see. Oh, that might be a little too far. There we go. So I used the Highland Heather with the Highland Heather ribbon, and I used our masks. So if you're not familiar with these, this is actually what I'm going to be raffling off today. I'll have to figure out how to do it since we don't have the random picker, and I promise I will try to figure that program out. But this is what we're going to be raffling off. So if you haven't used these, they are so much fun to create with. So this is the card that I created for you guys for the live. This was using the Highland Heather ink up top with the Highland Heather ribbon, and then I just grabbed a sentiment. You could really put any sentiment at the bottom, but this one says, to a person who still got it, but they may not remember where they put it. That is totally me. Literally, that is me 10 times over. And these are the blender brushes that we're going to be playing with. So now we can get to crafting now that we're in a program that I am familiar with. So what I'm going to be using is I'm using the Gorgeous Grape. So my original blending brush, I used the Highland Heather, and I didn't clean it before I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape, because if you use a lighter image in the same color family, you can go from light to dark, but I would never go from dark to light. So because this is Highland Heather on the brush, I can now use my Gorgeous Grape with the same brush. Hopefully that makes sense. So the one, we have 3 to make. We'll see how far we get. Since I had that little debacle in the beginning, we might not be able to get to all of them, but at least we'll get a couple of them done. So I have a piece of basic white, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5. What I like to do is put a tiny bit of adhesive on the middle. Actually, it doesn't even matter. It really wasn't quite in the middle. On the back, and I'm just going to line this up on my grid paper. So I'm just going to line this up to make sure it's even, and that is just going to hold it in place while I'm doing a little bit of coloring. So I'm going to lay my stencil on top, and using your grid paper actually works perfectly because you can take these lines and line them up exactly where you want them. So you can see the basic white is on the inside and the mask is a lot bigger, and that's totally okay. We're going to just take a little bit of washi tape, and this is really old washi tape. It doesn't have to be anything special. You could probably even use Scotch tape, but I would just hate for the Scotch tape to get stuck in the empty holes, and then it might ruin your mask. So I like to just use washi tape. So I'm just going to tape these edges down. There we go. And our our basic white on the inside is staying put because we put that little bit of adhesive on the back side of it. Okay, so now that is all secured and ready to go, I am going to open up my Gorgeous Grape, and I'm literally just going to rub this around. You don't have to white knuckle it. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. You're literally just picking up some ink. A lot of people like to tap off on it so it gets the boldness out, but I like that look, so I am not going to tap off, but I'm gently going to just rub this on the cardstock. So you can go start out super light. It's always easier to add more than to take some away. But I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm going to leave a good 1.5 inches at the bottom. So I'm going to ink up a little bit more and just go a tiny bit, press a little bit harder so it's a little bit darker. And you can see up top where I put this down first is definitely a lot bolder, but it doesn't bother me. I really like how it's different. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. There's really not much to it. And cleaning these brushes, I've actually used my brushes a lot. This one I used in red, and you can see a faint staining on it, but it comes off super clean. You just run it under normal water and no soap or anything, and it comes right off. Okay, so now I'm going to pick this up, and you do want to run this under water as well, just because the ink is on the outside of it. So now it's kind of stuck to your grid paper. If you just twist, it'll come right off. If you pull, you might rip the back of it or rip your grid paper, which really isn't tragic either, but just to be safe, I always like to just twist it. But isn't that pretty? It's so different. So because it's sticky on the back, I'm gonna leave it on my grid paper to do my stamping. And I really hope I mess up my stamping because I did it on my original card. Let me find it. I messed up on the stamping. It was crooked. So all I did is I cut another piece of paper and I tucked it underneath the ribbon so you can't even tell that I had to mask it and put another piece on. So there's always ways to fix things. So I'm going to ink up to the person who still got it, but might not remember where they put it. And I'm going to go ahead and just stamp one time. And now that actually didn't look too shabby. Let's see if I can get it straight on this guy. I hope I don't so I can show you how to mask it. Well, that's actually not very straight. So what I'm going to do is, I knew this was going to happen, so I brought in my trimmer. So let's show how you can fix it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure where it stops. So that's about 1.5 inches. So I am going to cut 1.5 inches piece of cardstock. There's always ways to fix it. And remember, it's 3/4 of an inch, so I have to trim this down a tiny bit too. There we go. So there's our scrap piece. And remember, there's 2 sides to this guy. So we have 2 more tries to get this puppy straight. So I think the bottom needs to go up a hair. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, maybe the bottom needs to go down a hair. Good thing I'm not going to transfer this one to YouTube. It's a hot mess. Okay, let's see. Oh, looky there. That was perfect. Okay, so now we are going to flip this bad boy over, put some adhesive on here, and watch. Nobody's ever going to know that we messed that up unless we tell them. So I'm going to come down here, line that up perfectly. Voila! Nobody knows. So now what we can do is grab some of our ribbon, and that ribbon is going to hide that little lip that's on there. Brilliant, right? There's always ways to fix your boo-boos. And there really is no boo-boos in stamping. And I usually use mini glue dots, and they're over on my other table, of course. So I'm just going to wrap this around. Give it a tiny little haircut. Make sure that's up enough, and I pulled it down a hair, so let me flip that up. Make sure it's nice and even. There we go. Now let's tie a little bow. So I do 2 bunny ears, and then I cross the bunny ears. And flip that guy through, and then there's your bow. Easy peasy bows. And then just pull it down so you get the size you want. Give it another little haircut. Trim this guy off a little bit. And we are going to have to pretend, oh, you know what, let me see if a piece of our tear and tape will hold our boat in place. It should. If not, it's one of those days. There we go. It actually should hold pretty good. Perfection. Now we can just attach this to our gorgeous grape cardstock, and that measures 5 by 5 1/4 by 4, and look at that. I think we should just go to bed and start over tomorrow. There we go, but that's okay. I got my handy dandy green glue. Can't go wrong with green glue. And then I have a piece of our basic white, and it's 4 by 5 or 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to attach this. I know, thanks for all the laughs and the thumbs up and the hearts. It's not easy doing these, especially when technology is not your friend. But there you go. It is a super duper cute card. So there's your gorgeous grape, and there's your Highland Heather. And we have a few more minutes, so let's do another fun color. So this one is going to be the Blushing Bride. So I have my Blushing Bride cardstock. I have my Blushing Bride new ribbon. This is actually brand new. It's not even out to order. And how I decided to do these cards is I went in to see what color ribbons I had. And whatever color ribbon I had is the color of the card we did. So since I'm out of the little snail, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape on the back side. You just need something to hold it in place. It doesn't need to, and now it won't pick up. It doesn't need to be anything super duper sturdy. So I'm going to lay that down. And for this mask, you actually have 4 masks pieces on here. If you cut a 6 by 6 piece of paper, put it underneath, you can do all 6 at one time if you wanted to. I am just going to try and get this little guy kind of in the center. We're going to kind of eyeball it, do the best we can. All else fails, we're going to cut the piece of paper down to make it be in the center. There's always ways around it. So I'm just putting a little bit of washi tape on here just to hold it in place. Put a little piece at the bottom. And just for giggles, I am going to put a piece up at the top just so I don't accidentally get my ink on the edges of my paper. There we go. Okay, so let's grab a new blender pen because we don't want to use dark, and we had the purple on there, the gorgeous grape. So I'm going to ink up with the Blushing Bride, and I am just going to come in and do little circles. And I want to be careful because there are 4 masks on this one that I don't go over the mask and color the wrong side. There we go. And our third card we're going to be doing, if we have time, is Flirty Flamingo. And I'm using the same sponge as I did with the Blushing Bride. Because you can go from lighter to darker, you just don't want to go darker to lighter. So there we go. Let's get that little edge a little bit. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, we're going to need that again. So let's peel this off. And you just want to be gentle when you're taking the washi tape off. It shouldn't tear your paper, but as I say that, I bet it tears my paper. It shouldn't tear it. There we go. That one looks good. Perfect. Oh, I did get a little bit right there, but it's okay. It is not the end of the world. Not tragic. Let's see if I can stamp the birthday a little bit straighter. So I cleaned it off. I'm going to ink it up. And let's try this again down here. Let's see if I can get it right. Okay, so I think the birthday side needs to come down a hair. When you think it's even, pull it down a hair. Let's see if that works. Hey, looky there. That was pretty good. That was the trick. When you think it's even, pull that happy birthday down just a smidgen. And let's put some ribbon on the back side. And I'm going to have to use a piece of tear and tape again because I don't have many glue dots. I did get a lot of stuff put away, but apparently I didn't do everything on my Facebook Live table. So that will be tomorrow morning. But don't set this down with tear and tape on the back of it because you'll never get it up. So let's put this up a hair. And we might put our bow on this side so it covers up that little bit of ink on there. But let's go ahead and attach this to our card first just so I don't get it stuck everywhere. Because that's definitely something I would do. There we go. So lay this down. Perfect. And now we can tie our little bow. So 2 bunny ears. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Monique. I just glanced up at some of the comments. Sorry if I missed yours. I will go back and read them, I promise. So this is definitely a thicker ribbon, so you're going to have to kind of play with it a little bit more, but it's still beautiful. There we go. Thank you, Bev. Okay, so I will go through and let's see, do you think that looks okay right there, or should we just go ahead and leave it? And I might have some rhinestones. You know what? Let's put it in the middle, and then I'll put a couple rhinestones on this one, so it'll cover it up. When nothing else works, throw a rhinestone on there. So I'm going to lay this right there. That was definitely a bigger piece than I needed. Thanks, Jessica. The masks are super fun, and they're different. There we go. And then I have my cardstock. And let's just attach this. And I might have enough time to at least get the last color in. We might not be able to put the card together, but we can at least get the masking done. So I'll do that really quick. So our last one is going to be this fun design. And I saved this one for the Flirty Flamingo. And there it is, perfect. And I have the ink and the ribbon. That bow is actually already tied. Let me go ahead and put a tiny piece of adhesive on here. They're just fun and different and unique, and it's kind of therapeutic. It really just makes you go into a different mindset when you're sitting here coloring these guys. So you can put this wherever you want. I actually think I might like it right there at the corner. Get more of those little triangles. And I'll just quickly tack this down because I know everybody's probably getting their kids to bed or getting dinner going. And I have to tell my husband that that first live was an epic failure, but that's okay. Thank you for being patient and bearing with me. So Flirty Flamingo, and I'm using the same the same blender. I'm just going to pick up some ink and rub. Easy as that. Pick up a little bit more ink. There we go. This one's actually pretty bold because I think my ink pad has been re-inked, which is totally fine. It's just really bright, and I love it. So these are the 4 masks that come in this kit, and I will actually probably not till tomorrow, maybe tonight. I'll actually put everybody's name who commented in and pick a winner that way. I think that's probably the fairest of them all. So there you go. Super easy and super fun, and definitely something unique and different. So I am just going to stamp this really quick, So once you think you have it in place, pull the happy down a little bit. Look at that, it worked every time. Well, not the first time, but the last 2 times it did. So there you go. There is your guys' live for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will be back on Thursday for a new project, and hopefully I can figure out the other program that will do my auto-generating for my picks for the winner. But thank you for bearing with me, and we will see you guys on Thursday. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.